Warning: this video contains graphic content. Some content may not be suitable for viewers. We do not mean to glorify these horrible events or the people who committed them. Our sole purpose is to inform and remember these tragedies. Viewer discretion is advised.
Eric David Harris was born on April 9, 1981 in Wichita, Kansas. In July of 1992, his family had moved near Columbine. The following year, Eric met Dylan Klebold. Dylan Klebold was born on September 11, 1981 in Lakewood, Colorado. Columbine is the name of the high school located in the county of Jefferson, Colorado, which Eric and Dylan attended. It was said that Eric and Dylan were students with school problems and were unpopular among their peers. Both were frequently victims of bullying in Columbine. Shortly after becoming friends, Dylan and Eric connected their networked computers to play online. One of the frequently played video games for Eric and Dylan was Doom. Shortly before the Columbine disaster occurred, Eric and Dylan took 2 pictures with their schoolmates. In them, they pretended to shoot together with their companions. One of the girls played a wounded victim. The image is terrifying when you know that very soon after, they would all be dead. Time and time again, they described in their diaries some of the preparations they carried out and filmed the arsenal that they were accumulating, along with the places where they had hid them. They even recorded their firing practices, which they devoted their afternoons to. Eric kept a journal, and many of his entries were bone-chilling. In October of '98, he writes, "Once you start killing, keep this in mind. There are probably about 100 people in the school that I do not want to die. The rest must die." Dylan wrote a story for his English class, in which he describes a man who kills 9 students with automatic pistols. I saw that power emanated from him, complacency. He understood his actions, says Dylan at the end of the story. Dylan's diary had the time of 11:10 underlined for April 20th. In another paragraph, Eric expressed talks about him and Dylan planning to accumulate explosives to blow up half the country. It will be like riots in Los Angeles, like the Oklahoma City bombing, like World War II and Vietnam, like Duke Nukem and Doom, all mixed in one. I want to leave my mark on the world. A notation on Dylan's agenda appears to sketch step-by-step directions for April 20th. Meeting at 0600 hours. At 10:30, prepare. At 11:12, get ready. At 11:16, ha ha ha. Bombs, use bombs, cover fire, retreat, aim at the head, suicide. Have fun, writes Dylan in another notebook. The pages were full of profanity, racial slogans, and drawings about violence and death. I hope I can kill more than 250 of you. It will be the most exciting moment of my life. After we put the bombs and go shooting at school, the seconds will seem like hours. Dylan had said this in one of the 5 videos prior to the event. It was recorded half an hour before. When the 2 boys went to school, they were armed with 2 shotguns. One of them was sawed off, a semi-automatic Hi-Point, a 9mm semi-automatic Tech-9 pistol, several homemade explosive devices, and a bomb composed of a propane tank. Outside the school, Eric saw a classmate and uttered, "Things are going to get very ugly inside. I like you. Listen to me and do not come back." The killing began in the cafeteria. They shot numerous times, injuring and killing students and teachers. Chaos erupted. The police were alerted, and the campus began to be filled with patrols and ambulances. Meanwhile, Eric and Dylan separated in order to cover more area. Eric and Dylan went to the library, where they started throwing bursts. Many students left in a stampede. Several died. After a large amount of time firing on their peers and teachers, both said goodbye. They shook hands and hugged, each of them pointing his gun at his own head, and fired. They committed suicide in the library. There were 13 dead and dozens more wounded. One of the bombs exploded 11 hours after the teenagers committed suicide. The others were deactivated. After the massacre, state school officials said they had no reason to believe that Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold were violent. At the site where the murderers carried out the massacre, the Columbine Memorial was created, consisting of huge crosses with the pictures and names of each of the victims. As part of a spirit of reconciliation, 2 crosses were also erected, with the names and photos of Eric and Dylan, mixed with those of their other companions. Apparently, there they would remain, finally accepted and integrated, as they never were in life. But it was not like that. The father of one of the dead students removed the crosses and burned them, in a last gesture of contempt towards those who were always relegated.